now shift our focus to an active war zone. Russia has launched a wave of attacks across Ukraine. Attacks were reported in southern port city of Odessa, in the Ukrainian city of Marhanets, and in Kyiv as well. The strikes came as both Russia's President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky signaled willingness to negotiate a pact that would ban striking civilians. And so, if bilateral talks occur, it would be the first time the two sides had held direct talks since the early days of the war in 2022. So what happens to the prospect of the talks? Just take a look at the battlefield first. It was another night of horror in Odessa as Russian drones rained down, injuring two and damaging civilian infrastructure. Video footage from the State Emergency Service of Ukraine showed emergency personnel driving to the scene of a blast in Odessa, where firefighters worked to put out fires at a damaged building. But that's not all. Russia launched a drone attack on Ukraine's east, in south and central Ukraine overnight. In Ukraine's second largest city of Kyiv, Ukraine's emergency services were seen tackling massive fires. Russian drones targeting civilian infrastructure had resulted in multiple fires. In Kyiv region, air defense units were also engaged in repelling the attacks, but there were no reports of potential damage. In the Ukrainian city of Marhanets, Russian drone attack killed 9 as Russian drone hit a bus carrying workers early on Wednesday. Pictures released by Ukraine's State Emergency Service showed rescuers removing bodies from damaged bus. On the same day, Russia's defense ministry claimed to have gained control over the village of Trasivka in Ukraine's Donetsk region. As you can see, the Russian attacks kept the eastern half of Ukraine awake for several hours overnight. Still, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that his armed forces still lack certain weapons for the war. According to Putin, Russian troops have received more than 4,000 armored vehicles, 180 warplanes and helicopters, and over 1.5 million drones of various types. But he said that there were other gaps in the areas.
These weapons are still lacking. I know about the efforts being made by the Ministry of Defense and the Minister by industrial enterprises. There are plans, work is being done every day, in fact, and I am sure that all plans to increase production of the necessary equipment, in this case these drones, will certainly be fulfilled.
As Russian attacks kept Ukraine awake, Kremlin said that there are many nuances around Ukraine talks and that positions have yet to be narrowed. Meanwhile, peace talks on Ukraine that were scheduled to take place in the UK were downgraded on Wednesday. UK Secretary of State for Foreign Affairs David Lammy had been expecting to host a fresh round of Ukraine peace talks in London. It would have brought together the US, Ukraine and Europe, but the British minister was left embarrassed after US Secretary of State Marco Rubio suddenly decided to skip the meeting. Nevertheless, Ukraine brought along a senior delegation led by Andriy Yermak, who is Zelensky's chief of staff. He was joined by the Foreign Minister Andrei Sybiha and Defense Minister Rustem Umerov. According to the British daily The Guardian, the last-minute downgrade came after reports from Russia and the US that suggest that two countries had made progress in separate bilateral peace talks between the White House and the Kremlin. It's unclear how serious Russia is about these talks, especially given the spike in attacks on Ukrainian civilians. At the moment, the situation remains dynamic, and the coming days will reveal more.